the ocean come to life with really hollow conditions. However, it's few and far between. Knowing that there's no possibilities for restarts, we'll see how Connor Coffin and Stu Kennedy approach this heat. Quick start for Connor, understanding that they're not going to get a reset. Fun looking wave, gets barreled, down carve, setting up the lip, and he'll kick out for a decent score to kick this one off. Last heat, Kanoa into round 3. How do you like Connor's backhand tube approach?
No, I love it. You know, he's obviously spent a lot of time in Fiji as one of the boatmen surfing cloud break. So his backhand tube riding skills are up there with the best.
It's that whatever wave you get, it's going to open up, and you know, once you get in the barrel, you can't really control what the wave's going to do. So you know, you just got to find the one that draws off the reef, and once I got that 8, he was kind of behind the 8 ball, and he had to make scores. And when you're in that position, it's hard out there because he didn't look at it as training. We kind of looked at it as a surf trip, and this is one of those places where, you know, even if there is no contest, you would just, you know, do a surf trip here and enjoy it with your friends. That's what we did, and definitely I think it's helping out for our wave selection and being comfortable out here.
Well, Kanoa, thanks for your time. And from the hood,
a little bit of difference with their technique. Let's watch it go down.
Oh, look at this wave from Connor Coffin, just trying to slow down as much as possible and just slots himself perfectly. But watch this turn. That turn was absolutely beautiful there, just on the rail. But the barrel is where the bulk of the points are going to come from. Front row seat for Stu Kennedy. Sure, he didn't want to see that, that's for sure. Look at that, beautiful positioning, beautiful timing. And then just literally tearing that lip off the wave. I love the way he just slid in. You can see him using the body to slow himself down, using that front hand to gauge how fast the wave's going. You've got to be completely in touch with this wave to understand it. And Connor Coffin knows that. So he had his front hand out. Same with Stu Kennedy, a little bit of a backdoor section there, comes out nice and clean. I think Connor's going to get the better of that situation. A nice little opening wave for Stu Kennedy. A nice little backup, quite possibly, but I tell you what, that wave from Connor Coffin, very similar to Kanoa Igarashi, so I'm looking something in that range, you know, 8.5 plus points. Definitely an excellent score.
Is now going to watch Stu Kennedy take off with priority. Nice speed on the takeoff. Great positioning for a moment there, and it's running down the line without him. Felt like it was going to be a clear make once he set his line, and that barrel at Teahupo'o can get this reef so well. Meanwhile, Connor's got the lineup to himself. So even though he didn't get barreled on this one, he's got plenty of time with priority. The thing is, once the water patrol gets in some clear water, they breaks to point breaks to reef breaks, and you want to do the best at all of them to become a world champ. While we were away, Stu Kennedy got back to the lineup pots and got a quick wave on his road to comeback against Connor Coffin here.
Yeah, you know what, he's needing a 5.74. I think that's just underneath it. He needs to find one of those bigger set waves. He needs to be a little bit patient.
Just been awesome people to talk to ever since they were little kids, as we see this slide into the barrel from Connor. Lets him out, now sets up that rail again. Big carve to finish. Smaller section than he had to deal with on his 733. With priority now, looking to answer back. How do you do on the takeoff?
Yeah, nice, just slid straight into there, perfect. Little bonus section at the end, and then that down carve, as you talk about, Joe. Nice low center of gravity, and kicks out of that. So looking to improve on a 3-point scoreline, putting a lot more pressure on Stu Kennedy.
And Stu's going to go on this wave. Needs a 7.24. Putting his body into the wave to slow down. From the channel, you see his positioning look nice and neat with his technique, but how deep did he really get on that one? This is Connor's effort now. He's got a ton of speed. He'll disappear for a moment there and fly free into the channel. Looks like that could be the last exchange here. 45 seconds to go. Stu's still fighting for another opportunity. As scores coming in, and Stu's going to need another score quickly. Just a 1.5. Not deep enough as we see the front on view.
Well, this is the front on view. This is what the judges see. And you can see Stu didn't quite disappear there. You've got to disappear. And it's almost like you've got to take off and not have to slow down. Just like this. See how Connor's driving through that wave there. A little bit more dynamic, a little bit more critical. And again, increasing his scoreline.
Connor takes out Stu in their first one-on-one matchup. Both in the same rookie class in their second season on the top 34. Round 2 continues.